Since the dawn of humanity, there's been bad news. It served us pretty well. Spreading the word about threats helped a lot of humans survive a lot of terrible stuff, like famine, diseases, natural disasters, feuding tribes.
Look out, bear!
Today's news is an extension of these survival instincts. It helps keep us informed on modern-day threats and uncover things that could be better in our world. But now we're exposed to more news than ever. And some days it can feel like the problems just keep coming. With solutions nowhere to be found. Only hearing about the bad stuff can make our brains more vulnerable to fear, anxiety, and a negative outlook on the world. Yale scientists call this phenomenon the hope gap. It's when we're overly focused on a problem instead of the solution. It can make us stressed out, tune out, or even worse, shrink in our ability to problem solve. Okay, ready for some good news? Good news is happening every day. We just don't always hear about it. Really. Right now, people are working to solve big problems in scalable ways. Curing diseases, creating equal opportunities, reinventing education, making neighborhoods safer. And some smart folks have surfaced heaps of data showing that the world is actually getting better in lots of ways. Hearing this kind of good news can do us all some good. It helps bridge the hope gap, inspiring us to be more proactive in dealing with the threats we face. Good news sparks dialogue, not just about what's wrong, but how it could be better. It's called solutions journalism, and there's a whole network of journalists dedicated to publishing it. Because research shows that hearing news focused on solutions can nudge us out of survival mode and into problem-solving mode, building more trust in each other and our communities. A lot of people come to Google looking for their news, so we wondered, what's the easiest way we could get more of this good stuff to more people? What if you could just ask for it? Like, hey Google, tell me something good. And you get a daily dose of good news just by asking your Google Assistant. You'll hear news about real solutions to real problems, like the Detroit residents that are creating jobs by turning abandoned lots into sustainable bee farms, or the global program using video games to make city planning a more inclusive process. This is newsworthy stuff. It doesn't just make you feel good, it paints a more complete picture of where the world is headed and inspires people and policymakers to take part. Problems and threats and bad news aren't going anywhere. So, couldn't we all use a little something good? Hey Google, tell me something good.
Us Good morning. Good morning, Vision, and welcome to our Sunday celebration. I'm so glad that you tuned in. Feels really good, doesn't it? It's another beautiful day brought to you by God. So let's pray in and get to it. We know that there is one life. It is God's life. It is whole and perfect and complete. We know and accept that Spirit is surrounding us, holding us in its loving embrace, that the very truth of our being is that we are Spirit, that everything about us is the divine in action. We are the place where Spirit shows up in form. The very cells of our body are just vibrating with that potential, that energy, which is Spirit. And so I know right here and right now, we come together in that attitude and atmosphere of the divine, knowing and accepting that we are all part of that one life. We are some inextricable part, some thread in the tapestry of this thing called life. And we are one. We absolutely are one. So giving great thanks to Spirit, we allow it to lead the way through this celebration in joy, in harmony, and in great love. We simply let it be. And so it is. Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Glad you're here. Grab your second cup of coffee. We've got wonderful music for you and some prayer and some talk and just everything you could ever want for a Sunday morning. So get comfortable, put your feet up, tune in your computer, and just sit back and receive, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to spread the good news, right? That Spirit is one and we are part of that. We are all in this together. So I want to tell you first about practitioners. They are people here at Vision and actually all over the world in centers for spiritual living all over who have gone to school for years in the art of compassionate listening and the science of healing prayer, and they're here to support us. So if you tuned in this morning with anything on your heart, if there's any heaviness at all or questioning or concern, I want you to stick around after the celebration and go to the meet and greet room and get one-on-one prayer with one of our practitioners in a breakout room. You can also go to the website, www.visioncsl.org, and you can find a practitioner on the practitioner page with their phone numbers and give them a call. Get prayer over the phone. Or you can actually there's a prayer request form on the website as well. You can submit a form to the email and we will email you back or call you back, whatever you'd like. You can also leave us a phone message. There are any number of ways to get in touch with us for prayer. So please don't leave today with anything on your heart without getting prayer support. Our practitioners are here, ready, willing, and able, and it is the calling on their heart to pray for us. So please do that. Avail yourself of that. I want to tell you also about our greeting, because there can be people here. This might be their first time. Is this your first time tuning in? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. If it is your first time, I want you to know that we are an open and diverse community of people that just love and support. We absolutely love God, love each other, do good works. That's what we do here at Vision. So, if it is your first time, there is a greeting we have on our welcome packet. We say it to remind each other, to remind ourselves, and we say it to our new guests. So if you are a new guest, just take this in. Just know that we mean this. It comes from the heart. You ready? You ready? Vision members, let's say it together. Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. And it's a particular greeting that resonates with us. It resonates with our hearts. I hope you take it in the spirit in which it is intended. We absolutely mean this. You are welcome here. You are safe. You are loved. And now I'm going to turn it over to our celebration singers who are going to sing us in to our time of meditation. Take it away.
There's only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only
Good morning, Vision. Welcome to, no, that's not it. My name is Diane Russell, and I am a staff minister here at Vision. Please take these quotations into your heart as we move into the silence and allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of the 5-minute meditation. The first quote is from Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And from Ernest Holmes, our founder, by taking thought, you do not add 1 cubit to reality, but you do allow reality to manifest in the things you are doing. So join me now as we go together to that place where we know that there is only one, that God is all there is, that God is all there is in people, the ones that look like us and the ones that don't, the ones that worship like we do and the ones that don't, the ones that think like us and the ones that don't. We are all the same. God created each of us out of itself, and so there is no difference and there is no separation. We are one. God has given us so very many gifts. The stars in the night sky, those beautiful flowers in the little hidden places, and the hearts of our loved ones and family. All these are gifts from God. So right now, my prayer is that we open our antenna, open our hearts, and open our minds, and recognize each one of these gifts. That we tune in to those beautiful moments in every day. These gifts of God are available to us all times, whether we see them or we don't. They're always there. And that's how it is. That's how love is. That's how God is. It's always there, waiting for our recognition of it. Join me as we connect heart to heart in this opportunity to feel the love of each other, of our loved ones, of our friends and family, of this community, even though we're not together. Know with me that God's greatest gifts are intangible, that love and emotion and beauty, all these harmony, all this and more unites us in that field of infinite possibility. I am grateful for this teaching, and I am grateful for the opportunity to look for good in every situation. I am grateful for God, for Spirit, for big open hearts, compassion. I let these words be grounded in the truth of God. And with a grateful, open heart, I say, and so it is.
Good morning. I'm so happy to get to be part of your celebration this morning. And with all the craziness going on right now, one thing I know for sure is that the power of love heals, and the power of love can reconnect us to ourselves and to each other. And another thing I know for sure is that the presence and the power of love is tangible here at Vision Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it today.
Out in the streets, the people are singing and saying it's time to come home. We've traveled far
Good morning. So I'm following this month's theme, Living as Compassionate Conduits. And last week, the first week, I talked about being plugged in, right? And I know today's talk was to be turned on, but I'm switching it up on you. I'm messing with you this morning because I'm going to go to the next topic, which is really tune in, because I thought it was much more appropriate for this week because we were tuning in this week, weren't we? We really, really were. And so I'm just going to switch it up. We'll talk about being turned on next. We'll talk about being turned on next week. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Tuning in is what I want to talk about today because it's about everything to do with the frequency that you are dialing into and what it is doing to you and for you. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, okay? And just assume we've all heard about the election. I know, right? Okay. Look, I know that we've all been tuning into it all week long. That's why I changed the talk titles up. So, depending on who you voted for, the result is good news or not so good news. Right? I mean, that's really what it's about. Some of us are celebrating, some of us are grieving. There are highs and there are lows. And this is the very thing I'm talking about today, right? The tuning in part. What frequency are you tuning into? What vibration have you made yourself a match for by your thoughts and by your feelings and by the emotions that you're resonating with, that you're stewing in, right? This is what we're talking about because what we know is what we align with, we attract into our experience. We attract more of that. So the idea is, what are we going to choose for our lives? What are we going to tune into, right? Are we going to be the light or are we going to be the shadow? Because really, that's our choice, right? Are we going to stay in our highest and best affirmational side of life, or are we going to go into the fear and loathing assumptions? Because we're always at choice. What are we tuning into? Ernest Holmes, in a Help for Today, he said this: "Let us therefore light the candle of love, human kindness, forgiveness, and understanding in our soul, and let it shine brightly. Let us not peer into the darkness, troubled and concerned, because it is so foreboding and unknown. Rather, let us remain steadfast in the radiance of spiritual light of truth within ourselves. Let us stand guard so that the winds of malice, cross-purpose, ignorance, and misunderstanding will not blow out our light. Let us live each day that the light from our candle of spiritual knowledge be forever clear and understood, not only by ourselves, but by all with whom we come into contact." So that's our choice, right? We get to be the light. We get to be the light in our own lives. And as we do that, as we tune into that frequency of unconditional love and we shine brightly, we change not only our life, but the lives of people around us. So this is our choice. Are you going to be the light or are you going to be the shadow? Where are we going to spend our emotional currency? Where are you going to send your energy? You know, it's like buying something at the store. Where are you going to spend your energy? You know, where do you spend your money when you go to the store? What are you going to buy? Because we make a statement every time we pay for something, right? We're saying, I want that. Right? I want that. I'm willing to pay for that. I'm willing to exchange my precious time and the resources that I receive from spending my precious time for that. And when we buy something, what we're saying is, I want more of that. When we plunk down our money for 2 tickets to a scary movie, right, a slasher film, what we're saying is, I like that stuff. I want to be scared. I want to see more of that, right? And we can say the same thing if we put our money down to a romantic comedy too. It's the same thing. What we're saying is, I like that, I want more of that. It's the same thing. Where we put our money is making a statement. Where we put our attention is making a statement. We pay attention, right? Isn't that the expression? We pay attention. So we're paying for that thing. And so the things we resonate with, we attract more of them into our experience, right? So going back to the election part of all of this thing, I'm not saying that your consciousness, specifically you out there, that your consciousness caused the outcome of the election, right? It was human race consciousness blowing across the country. It was human race consciousness. It was this group thing, right? This universal subjective consciousness that flowed through the country doing what it does. So no one person can take the responsibility or the blame, depending on how you look at it, right? Depending on which side of the thing you're on. But no one person can take the blame or the responsibility for the outcome of the election. What I am saying is now that it's been called, how are you going to internalize it? How are you going to internalize it? What are those feelings? Where are you going to send your energy? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to resonate in this thing, right? In this reality? How are we going to move forward, and in what consciousness will we move forward? How do we look out on the country with this change that occurred? You know, political campaigns in this country, I got to tell you, they have been fear fests for like the last several election cycles that I'm like really closely familiar with. But you know, really, basically from the beginning of the country, they've been like this. And I'm not kidding. Even George Washington. Okay, so the first two elections were kind of mellow, kind of, it wasn't that much, controversy. But George Washington did say this. He said he complained he had to endure more attacks than Emperor Nero did. So apparently there were some dirty tricks even back then, even at the very founding of the country. So let me take you way back for a second here. Let's go back to 1800. Thomas Jefferson's supporters called John Adams a monarchist. Oh my God, and that was like absolutely the worst thing you could call somebody at the birth of a new country, right? Was a monarchist, because that's what we fought a whole Revolutionary War to get away from. Absolutely the worst thing you could have called somebody back then. And it wasn't true either, right? It was not true. It was a lie. Well, Adams supporters called Jefferson an atheist, which was almost as bad back then, right? Also not true. But this has been going on forever. 1884 was even worse. The Republicans absolutely crucified the Democratic candidate Grover Cleveland, calling him a lecherous beast and a moral leper. God, I love it. Anyway, because he had once fathered, well, it was alleged, that he had fathered a child out of marriage and was supporting it like kind of on the sly, right? And that resulted in the old famous Republican chant, "Ma, ma, where's my pa," right? Which you can hear, can't you? Lock her up, same sort of thing, these chants that go on in the groups. So to which the Cleveland supporters would respond, "Gone to the White House, ha, ha, ha," because he won the election. So there you go. This stuff has been going on forever. 1828, candidate Andrew Jackson was called a murderer. Good Lord. They said his mother was a prostitute and his wife was an adulteress. That was some kind of campaign, wasn't it? Some kind of presidential campaign. 1876, Democrats claimed that Rutherford B. Hayes shot and wounded his own mother in a drunken fit of insanity. You gotta love this stuff. So this has been going on forever. Politics in the United States is a blood sport. That's what it is. And apparently it has been going on since the beginning of the country. Now, what I know about these last several, cycles is that they stoke fear in folks to manipulate them to vote out of a sense of fear. That's what it's all about. That is what the manipulation is. It is a strategy, folks. It is just a strategy to gain votes. So, the question I'm asking here is, are we going to move forward in this consciousness now? Are we going to move forward in the consciousness of fear? or faith. That's the choice. What are you going to tune into? That is our choice. You know, we heard a lot of talk during this campaign, right? I mean, there was a lot of that same back and forth, like I just talked about in the history, the history of campaigns. There was a tremendous amount of fear talk back and forth in both of these campaigns. Biden's going to raise your taxes. Trump is going to take your rights away. Biden is going to ruin your neighborhood. Trump is going to destroy Social Security. All things were said to make you afraid. All of those things, they went on and on and on. And whoever could scare us the most would get our vote. That's what the strategy is. Whoever can scare us the most can get us our vote, right? This is not who we are. This is not who we are. That's living in the shadow. We're not that. We are not that. Ernest Holmes said that we are for something and against nothing. He said it in that beautiful and brilliant sermon by the sea in Asilomar in 1959. And I'm going to quote from actually. Because we always talk about that. We always say he's for something but against nothing. But let me tell you the exact words. He said, "Find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of his soul, and I will find another Savior, another Jesus, another exalted human being. Find me one person who is no longer any fear of the universe, or of God, or of man, or of anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as the clouds before the sunlight. Find me one person who has redeemed his own soul, and he shall become my Redeemer. Find me someone who has given all he has in love, without morbidity, and I will have found the lover of my soul." Is this not true? Because he will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls. This is what religious science stands for. That's what he said. This is what religious science stands for. This is what I'm talking about. Where are we going to put our attention? What are we going to tune into? Pay our attention to what? Pay our attention to what? Are we going to pay our attention in the form of our life's energy to the light or to the shadow? To the truth or to the illusion? To the faith or to the fear? What frequency are we tuning into? Because we have the control. It is up to us. Our finger is on the dial or the button or whatever your thing is, right? It is our choice all the time to look toward the light or to stand in the shadows and complain about the darkness. We decide whether we will be ruled over by fear or stand firmly in faith. What are we going to tune into? That's your choice. Regardless of whether your candidate lost or won, it is up to us to know God right in the middle of it. Democratic candidate is not going to save us. The Republican candidate is not going to save us. We save ourselves. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the ones that change our lives by changing our thinking. We all want what Joel Goldsmith wrote. In the book, The Government of Eden, he wrote, "A state of complete peace and harmony, a state in which we are not at war with one another, but in love with one another. A state in which we do not want to deprive others, but share and give to others." This is what we all want. We all want the same things. We all have really, really different ideas on how to get there. But we all want the same things. It is not all lost, right? It is not all lost because one candidate won over the other. This whole political process is a zero-sum game. There's got to be a winner. Well, that means that there's got to be a loser. But really, we only all win when we work together. We have to, you know what, in the Bible, right, turn the swords into plowshares. We have to work together. We have to work together. And you know, elections work by having winners and losers. One wins, one doesn't, right? But it is up to us to find the gift in the condition. It's up to us to find the gift right here, right now, in what has transpired and go from there. To see the world in a state of grace, because Spirit is in charge and all is well. And that's what we know. Spirit is in charge and all is well. When we keep seeing the good, when we keep moving toward the good, you know, thank you, Emma Curtis Hopkins, right? Everything living seeks its good, right? The worms in the dirt, she said, the worms in the dirt, they move toward their good. The sunflowers that grow, they turn their faces toward the sun. They move toward their good. Everything moves toward their good, making that good manifest. This is what we do. And doing it together blesses everyone. That is being for something and against nothing. I want to go back to that sermon by the sea because Ernest Holmes went on. He said, "Find me one person who can get his littleness out of the way, and he shall reveal to me the immeasurable magnitude of the universe in which I live. Find me one person who knows how to talk to God, really, and I shall walk with him in the woods, and everything that seems inanimate will respond. The leaves of the trees will clap their hands. The grass will grow soft under him. Find me one person who communes with cause and effect, and in the evening star will sing to him, and the darkness will turn into light. Through him, as the woman who touched the hem of the garment of the Christ was healed, I shall be healed forever of all loneliness. Find me someone who is no longer sad, whose memory has been redeemed from morbidity, and I shall hear laughter. Find me someone whose song is really celestial, because it is the outburst of the cosmic urge to sing, and I shall hear the music of the spheres. This is what religious science is tuned into. It is tuned into the voice of God. It is tuned into the music of the spheres, as Ernest Holmes said. This is our spiritual path, to be for something and against nothing, to be those 12 disciples, to be those 70 people who changed the town, to be those 200 who changed the outcome and the course of the world. This is who religious science is. This is what religious science is. It is the practice of the presence of God in our lives all the time, regardless of conditions, regardless of outcomes, regardless of elections. It is our job. It is our calling. It is our faith tradition to practice the presence of God in all things, in all ways, through all conditions, and allowing that to inform us how to be in the world and not the other way around. We don't allow the conditions of the world to inform us how to be. We are religious science. We are the truth of Spirit shining through us. We are the lights of the world. We are those lighthouses that stand tall and shine and transform not only our lives, but the lives of those around us with our truth, with the truth of Spirit. And we absolutely know that as we change our thinking, we change our life. Not only our life, but the lives of people around us. Thank you.
It's in the beating of our hearts. It is the rhythm of change. We're rising up from the ashes of fear and hate, 'cause we know that there light, gonna turn it all around. When we know, yes we know, the one true thing is love, only love. The one true thing is love, only love. For every heart and every soul, it is a way back home. 'Cause the one true thing is love. How did we get here from where we started? What we lost along the way can still be found. 'Cause everywhere we look, there is promise. And everywhere we stand is holy ground. When we stand for love and we won't back down, when we shine the light, gonna turn it all around. When we know, yes we know, the one true thing is love, only love. The one true thing is love, only love. For every heart and every soul, it is the way back home. 'Cause the one true thing is love. From now on, wanna live in the moment, impossibility. Let's let go of the old stories for a chance at something real, something good, something true. Something real, something good, something true. Oh. When we stand for love and we won't back down, when we shine the light, gonna turn it all around. When we know, yes we know, the one true thing is love, only love. The one true thing is love, only love. For every heart and every soul, it is the way back home, home. 'Cause the one true thing, the one true thing, the one true thing is love. Love.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Peggy. I'm so happy that you joined us this morning, and I look forward to your coming back again sometime, maybe in real person, right? Maybe when our room is filled with people, it would be lovely to see you again. I look forward to that. So now is our time for conscious circulation. This is our opportunity to give back to those people, places, and things that support us, nourish us spiritually. If Vision is that place for you, this is your opportunity to support that and to be in that flow, to absolutely put your faith in the idea of this divine circulation, knowing and accepting that God is abundance and we are that. So if you are choosing to give, thank you. The Core Council thanks you. I am so grateful. It keeps us able to do what we're doing right here, right now, which is broadcasting and keeping the lights on and going out beyond the four walls, which we absolutely must do right now because, well, there's nobody in the room. So thank you for that. If you are choosing to give, we so appreciate it. Please, if you're writing a check, you can put your check in your hand. If you give automatically, or if you give through your bank or through, online tithing, thank you for that. And just put that in your mind as well. Just absolutely know that you are in divine circulation. And as we go within for prayer, hold that thought that you are in the river of abundance. That we stand open-hearted and open-handed in the river of God's abundance. That we have that circulation flow to us. We accept gratefully. We give graciously. We remain in that cycle, in that flow of eternal giving. We know that giving and receiving are just two sides of the same coin. We know and accept that as we accept gratefully and we give graciously and we stay in that flow, we are open-handed and open-hearted. Right at the heart of God. Knowing and accepting it is all God, it is all good, we simply let it be. And so it is.
As I give, so do I receive, joyfully, gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully, freely. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give, so do I receive. So do I receive, offering my first and best. As I give, so do I receive, knowing how I've been blessed. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give, so do I receive. So do I receive back to where my soul is fed. As I give, so do I receive. Thank you for my daily bread. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give. So do I receive.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Celebration Singers. I just love when they sing to us. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah, I know. Just opens your heart. So now is the time for the Miracle Minute. And I just want to take it over right now. I'm going to take control of the Miracle Minute. I wanted to just be so thankful and so grateful for the process that we go through every 4 years. Like Joel Goldsmith said, we go through this process every 4 years of electing a president and a vice president, and just to know that it goes smoothly, maybe not so easily and effortlessly, but it goes smoothly, that there is a peaceful transition, and I'm just grateful for that. The other Miracle Minute I just want to talk about is the rain. I don't know what's going on where you are, but we're getting rain here in Southern California, and rain is always a blessing. It's a miracle, and it's always a blessing, so I am absolutely grateful for that. And I have more Miracle Minutes to share with you, but I'm going to hold those till next week, and we're just going to share. And if you have yours, please send it to me so I can share a bunch of them. I'm looking forward to it. And so now it's the time for The Last Word by Johnny Kirko. Ben.
Yellow, hello. I missed you guys last week. Man, I'm loud too. I can tell. This room like echoes. Nice to see all of you. Well, I don't get to see you, but you can see me. So, we are continuing our Vision Meet and Greet right after our celebration. Join us. Love to have you be a part of that. We have practitioners that are going to be there. You can do some one-on-one prayer with you in a Zoom room. So join us for that. I know that Paul's got it on Facebook. I've got it set up on your email yesterday. It's also on the website. So if you'd like to join us, we're going to be doing that right away. We're continuing our coffee connection that we do every morning at 8:30 on Monday through Friday, and it's headed up by Reverend Lori Sheets. We'd love for you to be there. You can also check the website for a link on that, but it's just kind of checking in, just seeing how you're doing. Come and join us for that. Also, we're continuing to do the uplifts. The uplifts are, again, Monday through Friday. Reverend Patti leads like 3 of those a week, and we have a practitioner coming in and all kinds of different guest speakers. So join us for those, 1 o'clock Pacific time. It's for a midday kind of relief. This Thursday night, we've got a concert with the Folky Monkey. They're calling it the Buddy System. Joe Rathburn's putting together. And so just so you know, in our last Folky Monkey Joe had 10 people in the room. So if you'd like to be a part of that, go to his website, joerathburn.com, and you could sign up and be a part of that. We're only letting a few people in because we're still honoring all of the COVID rules and stuff. But if you'd like to be a part of that, Joe has got that set up. Next week, Reverend Patti Paris will be back. Her talk title is Turn On, which we were supposed to have this week, but she did it to last week. So next week will be this week, and next week, you know. And music will be by Mr. Michael Tiernan, so join us for that. I missed you guys. Thanks. I want to thank Mark Danishofsky for filling in for me last week while I did the election, and appreciate him. Thanks, guys.
Now it's time for our affirmation. So if you're sitting, if you're comfortable, if you're cozy, now's the time for you to stand up, because we are going to stand up. We're going to just keep our feet on the earth. We're going to ground in the truth of these affirmations. We're going to just speak them out loud, knowing that they are the truth of us. I know that they put them up on the big screen, right? Yay! Okay. We're going to say them together. You ready? You with me? When I go into my heart space, I find all the power of the universe. Today, I sit quietly and listen. I am an amazing extension of Source, and everything I see is evidence of that Source. These are incredibly powerful, powerful affirmations. I love it. I'm going to go back to number 1, and we're going to say number 1 again. You ready? When I go into my heart space, I find all the power of the universe. Yes, yes, we do. It is all there. It is all pressing up against us, ready, willing, and able to flow through us and as us in the world, as changed conditions, as improvements, as an absolutely fully self-actualized life. So just knowing that, let's go within one last time here this morning and know God is all there is. There is only that one energy, which is life, that one universal intelligence, which knows all. We know that our minds are part of that. We are immersed in that one mind. We are immersed in this one life. We are one with everything that there is. There is no separation. So I know as we go about our week this week, we see into the eyes of God every single time we look at each other. We see into the eyes of God every time we commune with our animal companions. We look into the eyes of God every time we see a tree or a fish or a bird. We see into the eyes of God through all life everywhere. I give great thanks for this. I know this as truth. And so it is. Amen.
Light of the far amber waves of grain. Far purple mountain majesties. Over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute. I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee.